Hey Browns fans, Nathan Zagura here with the game preview edition of the 2-Minute Drill brought to you by University Hospitals. Finally, Deshaun Watson will take over as the Browns starting quarterback down in Houston. Ironically, where he played before being traded to the Browns this offseason. Watson will see his first action in the NFL in 700 days. The last time he played was at NRG Stadium in January of 2021. He threw for 368 yards and 3 touchdowns that day with a quarterback rating of 116. And the Browns hope that he will be able to start off hot, taking on a Texans team that is struggling. They have the worst record in the NFL, 1-9-1 this season. They have lost 6 straight games by 7 points or more. But the Browns know they cannot take them lightly. The Texans on offense are led by running back Dameon Pierce, who leads all rookies with 788 yards rushing this season, good for 9th in the NFL, and he leads the league in broken tackles. They also can throw it to Brandon Cooks, the veteran former first-rounder who has 6 1,000-yard seasons under his belt. The Texans last week made a switch from Davis Mills to Kyle Allen at quarterback. They were beaten soundly by the Miami Dolphins in Allen's first start. He did throw 2 interceptions in that game. Defensively, Jerry Hughes has 8 sacks up front, and you got to account for the veteran at all times in the pass rush. Some familiar faces, Christian Kirksey on the defense, as well as Tavier Thomas, Eric Murray, and MJ Stewart. So it's a lot of familiar faces, a lot of former Browns. It'll be fun to see everybody back together. But the Browns should have a lot of success on offense. Deshaun is back, and he is the all-time leader in completion percentage at 68%. He is second all-time in quarterback rating, over 104, just behind Patrick Mahomes, and third all-time NFL history in yards per attempt behind the great Otto Graham and Sid Luckman. So Watson has played at a very elite level. The Browns hope that continues against a Texans team that is in the bottom of the league in almost all defensive and offensive categories. Look for Nick Chubb to really get going as well. The Texans give up the most yards per game on the ground. They give up the most yards per game on the ground to running backs as well. Running backs have already nearly 1,600 yards rushing and 14 touchdowns against this Texans defense. They've allowed 5 100-yard rushers, and Derrick Henry himself ran for over 200 yards and 2 touchdowns in the Titans' win over the Texans. So I expect a lot of that ground game. Amari Cooper has been red hot. That should continue. Donovan Peoples-Jones as well. When the Texans have the ball, I told you what to look out for, but for the Browns defense, this is an opportunity to get sacks. Allen was sacked 5 times last week. It's an opportunity to get interceptions. The Texans have thrown more than any team in the NFL, 13 so far this season. So a real opportunity for the Browns defense to have another good game, to string them together coming off of an excellent performance against the Bucs. And in the first half, the last 2 weeks, the Texans have been outscored 50-0. That's right, 50-0, and they have just 37 yards of offense total in the last 2 games. So the Browns, this should be a good start and be able to bring it home, handing it off, and getting Deshaun Watson acclimated back here in his first action with the Cleveland Browns. We'll have full coverage of everything for you down in Houston, starting at 9 a.m. on the University Hospitals Cleveland Browns Radio Network, and then at 10:30 for Browns Countdown on News 5. This has been a game preview edition of the 2-Minute Drill brought to you by University Hospitals.